In your previous mathematical background, you've probably worked with percents. However, many people are a little uncomfortable with percents or may have forgotten what they knew about percents. So we're going to do a quick review here of percents because percents will come up throughout our class. We're also in this video going to look at how we can convert a percent to a decimal because we often calculate with decimals, the decimal version of percent, and how we can take a decimal and make it back into a percent. So first off, what it means. The word percent has this smaller word cent in it, and cent means 100. You can think about it like with dollars. There's 100 cents in a single dollar, 100 pennies in a dollar. So percent means per 100. For example, if we are talking about 25%, that would mean 25 per 100. Now, per in mathematics just means divide. So the other way we can write this is 25 over 100, or divided by 100. That slash also means divided. So if I wanted to use that division and look at what 25% means, plug that into your calculator and you would get 25 divided by 100, or 0.25. Now I've put the 0 in front of the 0.25. You can put the 0 there or not. Usually the reason for the 0 is just so that the decimal pops out more. It's your choice if you put it in though. All right, so we've got 25% equals 0.25. Now, for many of our calculations involving percent applications, we want to be able to quickly go from a percent symbol to a decimal because we usually calculate with percents with decimals. Now, to convert from a percent to a decimal, we could do the division every single time, but there is a quicker way. If you look at these two numbers, the 25% and the 0.25, we've got the same digits. There's a 2 and a 5, 2 first and the 5. Really, the difference is where the decimal point is. Now, in the 25%, anytime you don't see a decimal, which we don't here, the decimal is right after the last digit. So it's right after the 5 at the end of the 25. So really what's happened to go to the decimal version of this answer, we've moved the decimal point 2 places, and specifically 2 places to the left. So to convert a percent to a decimal, we just move the decimal point 2 places left. That's all we have to do. And likewise, if we have a decimal and want to convert from a decimal to a percent, we just reverse that. All right, so there is a quick memory trick that I've learned. If you write decimal and percent down in alphabetical order, decimal would come first, and it would be on the left side. So when we want to go from a decimal, using an arrow here to go to a percent, notice the arrow is going to the right. So you're moving 2 places to the right to go from a decimal to a percent. If you want to go from percent to a decimal, you have to move left, so you move 2 places left. So that's one little memory trick to remind you of which direction you move. Let's look at a few examples real quick. 47%. 124%, 8%. Let's convert these numbers on the left side to decimals. They're actually percents to decimals. Remember, if you don't see the decimal point, as we don't in the 47%, it comes at the end of the digits. 47 point, 124 point, 8 point. Okay, so there's our decimal if you don't see it. All right, so if we want to convert these, if we're going from a percent to a decimal, remember our little trick here, percent comes last alphabetically, so we're going to go left. So we're going to move the decimal point 2 places left, so 0.47. Again, you could write that as 0.47, your choice. Okay, but we've moved the decimal point 2 places left. I'm going to go quickly through the next few. Moving the decimal point left twice here, I would get 1.24. So 124% is 1.24. With 8%, I move the decimal point left 2 places, and because I'm moving beyond the 8, I need a 0 as a placeholder. So 0.08. We could put the 0 in front of that decimal point. But our decimal, because it has to move 2 places and 8 is only 1 digit, we have to put a 0 placeholder in there. Same thing happens in the next one, 5.92. If I move 2 places to the left, I get 0.0592. I need a placeholder of 0 to be able to move the decimal point 2 places. And then for 0.2%, I actually need 2 zeros as placeholders, 0.002. So there we've converted 5 different percent values to decimals. Let's go the other way around. Let's take some decimals and move them to percents here on the right. So if we're moving from decimals to percents, we're just going to go ahead and move 2 places to the right. So I'm going to move 2 places to the right. So 0.85 is 85%. 0.062, move 2 places, becomes 6.2%. And notice when I make it into a percent, I need the percent symbol. It's not a percent unless you've got that percent symbol there. 2.34, move 2 places, is 234%. 5, if you don't see the decimal again, it's at the end. So when I move 2 places, I need zeros as placeholders. So this becomes 500%. Okay, and the last one, 0.3581, moving 2 places, becomes 35.81%.